And look, we gave the feel-good thing, and I forget who it was in the chat thread. Juice's Ghost says, Dan Campbell picking up the owner is making me laugh a little bit. That one did. I'm not going to lie to you, D-Mac. That was the line for me. I was happy for the guys. You know what I'm saying? That was just a little over the top.
Yeah, but
it's not the Super Bowl, D-Mac. It's not the division championship, D-Mac.
Listen, it's so funny how 20 minutes in real time can go from the 4th and 1 where we gave it up and did whatever, and everybody's Sheila's got a fire. Oh my God! If he's going somewhere. You hear all the Twitter, you watch all this, then they go down and they win, and then you see that. He didn't pick her up. She leapt into his arms. They were excited. That was like draft day again, right? So at the end of the day, Neal, where we're at with our fandom, this 6-year deal, 7-year, whatever, they're not going anywhere, right?
Right, which I've maintained, right?
Right. So it's if that doesn't show you even more, but that's just where they're at. That's how. To your point, does the New England Patriots, does Kraft come down? Does he, for the Super Bowl, right? So
they are different stops of the highway.
But I don't mind it because it gives us something. At least there's some emotion and some care.
No, I'm not going to stand on this microphone and say it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life or anything like. I just thought it was a little much.
The immaturity of where this organization is.
You said it well, D-Mac. Here's the guy that talks for a living that couldn't get out the right words, and there you were stepping in, man.
And there's a guy who tries to mumble his words, get him out. There
No, but you did well there. But we do have to take a look at it because, all right, I gave you guys that. And Joique from the player angle, I was hyped for the players and stuff like that, hyped for Dan Campbell, all that. Certainly, they're feeling good. But we do have to deal with the reality of what happened out there.
There we go.
That's the reality of what happened. That's in peril now. It is. If to the victor goes the spoils.
Did you see my tweet? I was hoping for the greatest weekend of all time. I was hoping Jacksonville would beat the Rams, and then our draft stock would go up. But again, somebody brought it to my point that no, they're way too bad for Stafford to even. It was a get-right game for him against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, it is, but they still have that half-game lead in the NFL standings as far as the race for the number 1 overall draft pick goes. And, for the Lions,
my question to you, do you think your attitude, right, is the way it is because that's your game to play with, right? Because that, sitting here, if that would have tied you, see, because to me it doesn't matter. Because I would rather have the 2nd pick. Right, because I think that.
But if they would have won that game in Pittsburgh and won today, they wouldn't have the 1st or the 2nd pick.
Well,
they'd have the 3rd pick.
I know that's where you get all upset. You get all upset.
No, I get upset like the 2nd, and I don't. Again, I'm not saying you've heard me say this. I'm not saying, hey, running back, go fumble the ball, Goff throw an interception, Dan Campbell call a run in a pass situation.
I mean, friggin' Jamal Williams just laid it down first time in forever. So I mean,
I'm not saying that. The players have to go play. They got to make a living. And they get paid off of what they do on the field. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying the coaches do that either. I'm just saying I root for losses independent of the people because the most valuable commodity the Detroit Lions can have as a franchise is the number 1 overall pick. Be it who they pick, be it do they trade it, all of it. Can we all agree?
It gets you better quicker. Get you out of this quicker, supposedly with the right guy picking and trading.
That's not even necessarily the case. It's just for me, can we all agree that it's more valuable to have the number 1 pick than the number 2 pick? Right?
Right.
It's economics.
Yes.
It's more valuable to have that. That's where I stand with it. The thing for me is I believe the Texans play the Jaguars still. So they're both 2-10. They're both 2-10. So the Texans play the Jaguars. Somebody's got to win unless they tie. Which
that can never wait. Hold on. Okay.
But somebody's probably going to win that game. So now you're talking about a 2-horse race with the Lions and the loser of that game. And again, for me, that's what I want to see. Okay, get off my back now, D-Mac. You guys got your win. Okay, you got your win.
Here's the thing.
Now leave me alone.
Here's the thing. With the way this team is, that you see the defense continue to they've impressed me just because of their bend but don't break, and just how many bad spots they've been put in, but they get out there and they compete, stuff like this. But they're out now that they have the win. This Lions team, this could be inspiring because they're going into Denver, and I don't care. They're 8-point underdog, but don't tell them that. They got Teddy Bridgewater. They're not a world beater.
Oh, you go from Kirk Cousins.
Hey, listen, before mentioned, Robert Colosia said, we are still alive for the playoffs, Lions fans.
that is
right?
The truth too.
Don't forget that. But out of Houston, out of Jacksonville, and out of Detroit, I like the Detroit team because it plays together. Right? We saw that in their celebration. Right? So I'm a little bit more worried, I think. Are you worried about the Lions winning a couple more games? Or?
Well, I mean, that's the natural reaction. I mean, who are they going to beat, though? You know, you start going through that.
So are you more confident because they're playing a tough schedule?
Yeah, and the road games are tough places to win at. You know, Denver and Seattle. And certainly they're not great teams. And look, I sat in this chair, D-Mac. We sat in this chair together. We talked about it when we said, if you look at Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, they are the prototypical can beat anybody in the NFL and can lose to anybody in the NFL. And Teddy Bridgewater's another guy. He's the exact same thing. He can beat anyone in the NFL on any given day. He can lose to anyone and look bad doing it on any given day. So Teddy Bridgewater concerns me, yes.
You know what? You just brought that up, and I was thinking, wow, Teddy Bridgewater threw some great passes right to the Kansas City defenders. He could do that against our guys
very easily,
but our guys can't catch. Do you notice that?
I don't want to take that chance.
Anzalone in his hands. There was a couple picks thrown the other day that to Joique brought it up last week. The frustration is these guys got to make plays and catch. So, you know, you add that to the bill that they could have had a few more turnovers. That the defense is playing decent. You know, comparatively. So
no, they are, and that certainly is fair. Juice's Ghost says if they tie, meaning the Jacksonville Houston game, they're still a half game back, which they are. But my concern is the Lions tying another game, because that would be the most classic Lions way possible to lose to go from the number one pick to the third pick on a tie without a win.
0.280 to 0.281. Oh, lost by 1,000th of a point.
Which nobody's been able to explain to me the mathematical reasons behind why you get winning percentage points for not winning a game. Because when you tie,
you didn't lose.
When you tie,
because you didn't lose,
right?
I guess, so it's not winning; it's actually how many of you lost. So really, it's against that sort of thing.
But I get the math behind it. I just don't get the theory behind it.
So you get the math now, you just don't get
I don't get the theory behind it. Okay. Because if you're going to explain it that way, why does it count towards your winning percentage when you didn't win?
We're not in the lab.
Well, yeah, that would be dangerous. That would be dangerous for everyone. But it's like the hockey thing with me. I'll never get past the point that they get rewarded for losing. You lose a game in overtime, you get a point.
I get it.
I'll never understand that.
I don't understand it either. I'll 3-on-3, 3-point game. I'm just glad that they go to overtime and do it the right way in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right? Which, again, that sort of seems weird. Let's change it. You know, let's make different rules for regular season play. Anyways.
AC Neal, what are your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence? He hasn't shown us anything. There's still hope with the guy. You know what I'm saying? He is capable of making some throws. They have a plan in place. And I understand what you're saying with that. And there's been a lot of talk, too, in the YouTube chat thread. Joey 2 times says it's not the number one pick versus number 2 pick as much as it's the number 1 pick versus meaningless wins. And, yeah, I agree with that to some degree. And then I forget who it was that said the number one overall pick isn't as valuable as it has been in years past versus the number 2 pick. But it doesn't matter. It's still more valuable to have the number 1 pick. It's still more valuable. That's the only thing the Lions can achieve this year. Although I guess they are technically still alive for the playoffs.
No, I think they got eliminated on Sunday.
No, they've come out and they've said the only team in the NFL that's been eliminated from playoff contention is Houston. I don't have a quantitative physics degree, so I can't go through
What you need to figure out.
Yeah, I can't even understand why you get winning percentage points for a tie. So that eliminates me from contention of figuring that out.
You didn't lose, so it's not like hockey. You didn't get points for losing.
Yeah, right. I don't get it. I don't get it. David says, I always thought the point for losing in overtime was due to them not losing in regulation.
All right, so my question.
Yeah, that's all it is.
So this is my question to Neal. Neal, you said the only thing that we can get out of this season is the #1 draft pick.
Yes.
But if we're not dead from the playoffs, technically, we can still win the Super Bowl. We can still win the Super Bowl.
All right. Eggs, they don't make the playoffs, Joique?
Wait a sec. I thought that limo blew up. Wait, why did they bring this limo coming back around?
The 10-7 limo blew up. I was never on the 10-7 limo.
I know, but you're on a
Are you in the playoff limo now, Joique?
No, I'm not on that. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Oh. If you're looking at the math.
Because if you pull off the playoff limo app on your phone right now, it says no drivers available right now for the Lions. It's like you're up in Romeo or something right now. There are no drivers available.
It's like catching the Uber on the
there's a chance I could golf today. But there's not.
No courses available.
No courses available.
Joique's got that playoff app on his phone right now. That blue and green line is just going across and across, searching for your ride.
If you guys did want to bet on it, I'll just go to my bookie.
Yeah, my bookie studios. Go ahead. You probably get some pretty good odds.